Hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 3 of the HerStory Online Summit. And this is our second session for the day. Those of you who are with me in the morning, welcome back. And those of you who are just starting off, let me tell you a little bit about what the HerStory Online Summit is about. This is a platform that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache. I'm the founder and global curator of the Her Story Circle movement, and I'm joining you from Melbourne, Australia. To begin with, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I would like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all First Nations people joining us from around the world. Over the next few days, we will dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of remarkable women. These are stories of courage, resilience, creativity, and leadership. Stories that remind us that when women rise, communities and nations rise with them. This summit is more than just a series of talks. It's a global circle, a space of inspiration, connection, and transformation. Together, we will share knowledge, ignite conversations, and plant seeds of change. So I invite you to go and grab a cup of coffee, settle in, open your heart, and allow yourself to be inspired by the incredible journeys that we will hear today. This is Her Story because every woman's voice matters, and every story has got the power to change the world. So my next speaker is not a stranger to the Her Story platform. Maricel is an amazing restaurateur, author, TV personality, culinary guide to Filipino and Asian cooking. Carving authentic Asian flavors by overwhelmed, I'm going to repeat that, carving authentic Asian flavors, but overwhelmed by the beginning. She is helping thousands of cooks build confidence, connection, and joy in the kitchen. Now she's on a mission to make a bold, soulful flavors of Asia feel effortless and familiar to all. So welcome back, my sister. This is the second time you've graced our stage.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.
Fantastic. So you have 15 minutes. The stage is yours, and then we will unpack your story with some questions at the end.
Okay. So I started, I've been cooking, I should say, for a good 40 years. I grew up in Manila, in the Philippines, and I actually learned cooking from my grandmother. She's an excellent cook. And then I just kind of like followed her in everything that she did, going to the market and how she makes wonderful, wonderful dishes. So growing up, she's right there next to me, and I'm just watching. And then for some reason, I knew I wanted to cook. So I went to college, and then right after college, I came to the States, and then, I took restaurant management in New York City. And at first, I just want to learn the front of the house thing, but then I end up really loving cooking. So I worked in wonderful restaurants and hotels in New York City. And then we moved to New Jersey. And then that's where I work in a corporate job that is also maintaining food service and stuff like that. But inside me, I still want to do what I want, to share Filipino food to a lot of people, and actually also teaching them how to make it, how to create it, so that they don't get overwhelmed with making those dishes. So I have the opportunity to open up our business. 8 years ago, I quit my corporate job, and I decided to follow my passion, which is cooking, and also sharing what I have, what I know. So with that, at first I was so scared to open my business because, when you have a corporate job, the paycheck is always there. Your weekly paycheck is right there. But I have to say no. I took the challenge myself to actually really say that this is what I want to do. Stay passionate and stay, you know, focused on what I want. And now 8 years had passed. Very, very happy with my decision. Love what's going on. So I opened this nice studio wherein everybody could come and learn how to make Filipino and Asian dishes. In fact, I just released my cookbook, and this one is, I'm so happy that I did this because it is another channel of helping other people know how to cook Filipino food as well as make other Asian dishes. So it's just like an incredible experience. So, with what we have in the studio, we also extended it with having chef's table. All right. Now, this is one good thing that I love about doing chef's table. So we've been doing Filipino chef's table. It's a menu tasting of 9 to 11 dishes. But what's amazing is for some people who haven't really tasted Filipino food, once they taste that food, they're so like, oh my gosh, it is so good. And now that's exactly what I want to show people and tell people that Filipino food is amazing. It's just, uh, uh, once you taste it, you feel like you want to have it all the time. So, with that, and what we also try to build in my cooking studio is the experience, A lot of people are looking for different things to do worthwhile. And so when they come to my cooking classes, they have this, the experience is different. They're all very happy what they have learned. And then they become my friends because they just like, engaging with me and what they have learned. And I've noticed that people love to learn. People want to be a part of something. So we're building a community of people who love food, who really embrace what certain cuisines are, which is very, very important. And another thing I want to explain to you, another thing that I want to share with you is like we also have another, aside from the chef's table, we have we call that boodle fly. All right. So, of course, a lot of people come and they want to experience that. But somehow, when people experience it, I'm so happy because when I look at them, I eat. I see them that they eat with so much gusto, and when you look at them, they're not Filipinos. But when you talk to them, it's amazing what you find out. It's because they would say, my dad is French and my mother is Filipina, and with the kind of food that we serve that night just gives them back memories of what they have experienced, what their mother did, or what their mother have cooked for them. And sometimes they get teary-eyed because it says, this is amazing. This is what I have experienced when I was back home in the Philippines. So it's reminiscing. A part of it is, you know, making sure that I'm not making sure. It's just like you feel what you have felt before. You tasted something what you have tasted before, and I am so um, happy about it. Now, a lot of people would say, "What are the challenges, and how did I overcome opening up this place?" I tell you, it's not easy. I have sleepless nights on this one. But for me, through this I say you just have to be true. The challenges are always there. It's not going to disappear, but it's the matter of how you handle it that makes you set be apart from the rest, set you apart from the rest. For me, I would say for those people who want to open up a business, make sure you really like that. You have the passion to do that. Because if it was just a hobby, you're not going to stay long. You know, it's for me, it's a 24/7 thing to actually on it. You have to put yourself in it, right? So the challenge is, how do you keep yourself motivated? How do you do that? Well, then you surround yourself with people that support you. All right. I'm so fortunate that my husband supports me at 2,000%, I should say. But it makes it easier for me to keep going, because as I've said, I'm 60. So I'm not getting any younger, but I wish I had opened my business a lot young when I was a lot younger. But there's a lot of things. You didn't have the money to do it, you didn't have the guts to do it. But no matter what. But once you decide you want to do this business, whatever you like, painting, whatever, just make sure you focus on it. And when things get tough, you always go back to the reason why you're doing this. Don't make excuses. Excuses won't help you. But find the reason why you have to keep going. Because at the end of this journey, you'll be satisfied. I'm so happy and I'm so contented because I finally found what I love to do. And I think I'm doing all right. I have people coming back. Not for nothing. I have been to Food Network. I have been to PBS. I have been to Hulu, and those are wonderful experiences. And come to think about it, a few years ago, I would never have thought I would write a book. I, I would write a book, but it happened because I put my heart into it. And as I've said, surround yourself with people who would support you, people who understand you, and people who have the knowledge of what you're doing. Because sometimes they could give you, ideas to make your business flow better, right? And so I say, just be focused. And most of all, don't lose faith, don't lose hope, because that's very important. For me, every day I'm so thankful with what's going on with our business, but it's I'm so thankful for all the people who had helped me, who had supported me, because I know I'm heading to the right direction and I'm doing what I love, sharing my passion for cooking, sharing authentic dishes where I've learned from my grandmother. And thankfully, I thank God, I was with my grandmother, because imagine that if I have not stayed with her, who knows what I'm doing right now? I don't know. But one clear thing is, find the passion, find that little something in you that makes you tick, because there's something in there. You would find it. It's not the money sometimes. It's how you'll be comfortable with your decision. And so that's it.
Oh my gosh, what an inspiration. And congratulations on your first book. When we
Yes.
first met, you were working on this first cookbook and you talked
Yes.
about it, and now you've got it in print.
There you
Wow.
go. Thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of work, but I'm so proud of it. Oh my gosh.
What is
So,
the title? Hold it up so people can see the title, and where can people get it?
oh,
Simply
it's Marisol's Simply Asian Cookbook. So, in here, I'm teaching Filipino, Cantonese, Japanese, Thai, Vietnamese, and Korean. So you could get it, you could buy from my website, as well as, of course, Amazon. We're in Amazon right now. So you could purchase my book in there. So,
This is a beautiful milestone. So, what is the most meaningful recipe that you included, and how
uh-huh.
does it reflect your personal journey as a Filipina living heritage through food, sharing heritage through food?
Yes. So I think you're the 50th person who asked me what specific dish makes that's important to you. And I would say
Yeah.
it's kare kare. Kare kare is an oxtail stew in peanut sauce. Why is that
Oh,
so important? It's because that's a recipe that my grandmother and I made when I was growing up.
oh,
It's a full day kind of recipe, you know. You boil there's no pressure cooker. So you have to boil
yes.
the oxtail for a good 4 or 5
Hours.
hours. And there were no gadgets. So we have this stone grinder. All right. So we roast some rice and we put it in there and we grind it and it turns into a rice flour. We put
Okay.
roasted peanuts, we grind it, it comes into a peanut butter. So it's such a long thing to do. It's so worth
Yes.
it though afterwards. But that is so vivid in my brain. Every time I say kare kare, it's all about my grandmother
It
because
takes you home.
it takes me home. And in
Yeah.
fact, the other day I just made it. Um, I was filming with someone else and I made that special dish. And I say, this is my grandma. I know my
Oh,
grandma is happy that I was able to, duplicate whatever she taught me. I learned something, I kept something.
I love
So,
it. You know what? It reminds me of my grandmother used to put peanut butter in everything. So we didn't have a lot of protein in our diet. And
and
her
there you go.
favorite dish was pumpkin leaves cooked in peanut butter sauce. You know
Wow.
that you can saute pumpkin leaves, the very young
Yes,
shoots, and
yes,
the
yes.
flowers, and cook those.
Uh-huh.
So when you
I'm so
talk,
crazy.
yeah, now when I smell the smell of peanut butter in food, it always reminds me of my grandmother. So I can so relate to
Yes,
that story.
yes, yes, yes. It's amazing.
Now, writing a cookbook is very different from cooking for a crowd. What
Exactly.
surprised you most about translating your culinary passion into written form for home cooks around the world?
I have to be honest with you. I have a hard time sometimes writing a recipe because I've always cooked with no measurement. I measure with my hands, how they feel and stuff. That's all how I see. It's very visual, right? So writing a recipe, it took time for me. And I'm always like, my husband would say, you are cooking with your mind because I close my eyes and I tell you, because I know exactly how it is and how it's going to taste.
Yeah.
So I have to actually do that and start writing so that
Oh,
I would
I
know.
love it.
And
So that you can capture and remember everything.
And yeah, and I think also it's because I've been cooking for the longest time. You know exactly what a teaspoon of salt
Yeah.
tastes when you put it in food and stuff like that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a lot of work the cookbook because especially
Oh
with the
man.
pictorial because I have to cook it fresh. They take a picture, and if I didn't like the picture, I have to cook it again.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
want them to fix it and stuff. I said, no, it doesn't look nice. I have to do it again. So it took us 14, 16 hours a day to make
Oh
a
wow.
few pages of the book. But I'm so happy. I'm so proud.
So let's go back and talk about your culture, your heritage, where you're from. So many Filipino women have worked abroad as nurses, caregivers, domestic workers, often the unsung heroes supporting family back home.
Mhm.
How does their story resonate with your own?
Oh, okay. So, well, Me going to America was a complete surprise because I have to
Uh-huh.
say, um, so I have an aunt who is a nurse in
Okay.
Queens, New York,
Yeah.
and we've been visiting her maybe 2 3 times already. And one time I was watching TV, a soap opera in the afternoon, and I saw New York Restaurant School. It popped.
Right.
I said, "Oh, mom, I want to attend this one." So she was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I want to do it." So we came back home to Manila, and I said, "Ma, I really think I really want to go to that school." And he says, "Oh
Wow.
my God, what are you doing?" So I guess it was tough for her to let go of me because I'm an only child, right?
Yeah.
So she let go of me. And then I thought it would be easy because then I'm by myself. I'm living with my aunt. Thank God she took me. But being alone and by yourself, doing everything else. But it has I think the thing that helped me stick to this is like my mom has always been there to support me. I cried.
Okay.
I have those sleepless nights that I cried, like, what I have done, why did I come here? So
Yes.
I just and my mom says, like, just finish it, you know.
Just do
And,
it. Yeah.
and that's the one thing my mom had always said, never give up.
Oh, I love
Finish
it.
what you started.
Started. Yes. Yes.
And
So you
then
had
once
to hang
you're
in there and do it.
finished, yes, when you're finished with that, you decide what you want to do. But
Mm,
thank
mm.
God I stick to it because then I was I landed good jobs in New York City.
That's
I
beautiful.
climbed the corporate ladder really quick, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. And then so
There you are, years later. So many immigrants use food to heal the pain of distance. How have
mhm.
you found cooking to be a way of healing and preserving your identity?
Oh, of course, when I have a get together, we only eat Filipino food. And I love
Yes.
that because that's the only time I could really cook a lot of Filipino food with my friends who come here to visit me, right?
Okay.
So for all of us, eating the food that we ate when we were young here in
Yeah.
America brings
It's
us
really special.
memories. It keeps us true to our tradition,
Yeah.
we because and the fact that we know the Filipino hospitality, right? I think I've mentioned
Yeah.
that Filipino hospitality is like you come in, everybody gets in, it's not like how are you, it's did you eat, are you hungry,
Yeah.
what we ask people when they come to our homes. And I think with other with other people, food connects them,
Yeah.
whether you
That
just
is
met
so
a
true.
person today or not. When they come to you and you offer food, it becomes like a connecting thing. You
Yeah.
become to be pacified. Like at first you're nervous, like what would be your relationship, but then when you eat
Yes.
together and you start talking over
Changes
food,
everything
there's a relation. It becomes like, oh, it seems like you've known each other for a long time.
for a long time.
So
Now, they say that behind every successful woman is a very strong man. I had the pleasure of meeting your husband the last time we talked. He was there in the background. He came to say hi and very,
yeah,
very supportive of you. How
he's
did you meet
nosy.
your husband? How did you meet your husband and what role has he played in your success?
Oh boy. Okay. So I have to be honest. I'm much, much older than my husband. Not much,
Oh,
much. A
nice. You
little.
got yourself a spring chicken.
Yes. I have to be honest. 6 years older than my
Oh,
husband.
I
Right.
love it.
So how did we meet? We were schoolmates. He
Oh,
was taking
wow.
restaurant management in the same school, and we go to the lobby of the school, and I meet this guy wearing shorts like a teenager, and it's like, oh, who is that guy? And then we just connected, and like, there you go. And we're
Oh,
now married 34 years.
That is so beautiful. What an inspiration. So
Because
my last question for you.
oh,
Sorry, I broke.
no,
I
no, because you were saying like I would say, I think I won't be successful as I am right now if it wasn't for him, because he
Oh.
was the one who always forced me to do things or signed
Hmm.
me up to do things, and he believed in me more than sometimes I believed myself. Sometimes I doubt myself, but my
Yeah,
husband is always, no, you know, you could do that. That's easy for you. And you know, those things
they make a
that
difference for a woman to
make the
succeed.
difference. I'm so
Yeah,
blessed to have a
it's
wonderful
so
husband.
beautiful.
Yes.
That is beautiful. So my last question for you is, if you could say one thing to all Filipino women across the world who are quietly holding families together, what would that be?
Be strong, keep the faith, be yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone else. When you're
Yeah.
with your family, that's it. That's what is more important. Yourself, your family, and God, you know. So that's important.
Oh,
Don't
absolutely
forget where you
fantastic.
came from. Don't forget where you came from. So
Thank you so much. And thank you for gracing us with your story, with your presence. I'm so excited. The book is finally out. I know we were talking
yes,
about it. It was like a dream a few months ago. And now you've got it in your hands. So, congratulations to you for doing that.
I'll send you one. I'll
Please do.
sign it
I will
for
give you
you.
my
Yes,
address.
please, please do, please do. Yes.
And thank you to everybody who tuned in today. We started the summit first thing in the morning at 5 a.m.
Oh,
We've been online the whole day. We'll be back again in the evening with all of our UK speakers and our speakers from Africa. So please tune in again in the evening. And thank you to you, Marisol, for being with us. Don't go away. I'll be with you in a minute, okay?
thank